Hello everybody, welcome back to Inspired Living, another tutorial in fluid painting. Today I want to try out something new. We gotta do a Dutch pour, and I think I'll show you again the process from the very beginning, because I've been talking to some of my followers on several social media accounts, and I found out that they skip processes or try to speed up and then are a little bit disappointed about the results. So I think I will do one continuous progress. The second thing is this painting will be a two-part. I will have one black canvas which will have white and metallic colors, and the opposite side will be a white canvas with black and the same metallic colors. And I will split it a little bit. I will do the English canvas in the black canvas in English, and I will do the white canvas in German. So you have one canvas in your language, and if you want to see the entire process, you can watch the German one too, because I'm telling pretty much the same, but you just can see and follow how I work through it, and I will show the result on my Instagram account. So let's get started from the beginning. First thing are those wooden chips. You already know them. Depending on the size, they are more or less important. This is the first size where I actually would really recommend to use it, because the smaller canvases don't use it, because there is the tension not that high, and the weight of the paint doesn't make that much of a difference. But from this size on, there's a lot of pressure in the center of the canvas, and so these chips actually help to keep the tension of the canvas and to keep it stretched. I'm using the discounter canvas today, and you maybe see a difference. And so if I will sell these paintings, of course, I will have to do it to an appropriate pricing. That's not a painting I can call for $50 or more, of course. That doesn't mean that it's a bad canvas or that the painting is bad, but the surface is a little bit rougher and the backside isn't that nicely done as it would be on a more pricey canvas. But if it's for you at home, that's absolutely fine, and I might even keep them, because my bedroom is all in black and white, and so maybe it will fit in and I will keep it. And I'm about the art and not about the materials that much. So I just put them in. This time I will not use push pins, because I will have to work on the ground, so you can really see the pouring at its best, from the best angle, and so I have to do it on the ground. And when I work on the ground, I prefer to set my paintings or my canvases on cups, because then they are lifted a little bit higher and it's just more comfortable for me. If I would do it on the table, I probably would use push pins. But as I said, when I use cups, plastic cups, I don't need it. So, and while the glue is drying, we clean, pardon me, we clean the canvas. Usually I use facial tissues like these. They are in those packages. I'm pretty sure in your country they look pretty similar. It's not about the brand, it's just that they are made for facial cleanings, for makeup removal, because that's pretty similar to the stuff they use when they prime the canvases and in the production process. So as I don't have those facial tissues, I do something else. I use a kind of Windex. It's just a German brand, and I put it on a cotton cloth, of course a clean one that's freshly washed. That's one of my painting cloths, though there are stains, but it's freshly washed. And you don't put the Windex directly on the canvas, you put it on your cloth and then you clean it. You just rub smoothly over the canvas, because there might be grease stains from the people who packed it or primed it, or from the machines they used. There can also be leftovers from the primer itself, or even some cotton or canvas pieces stuck on the canvas. And here you see that I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera, but it's a really rough surface, what speaks for the pretty cheap price. And you see, I get some of the primer of the canvas. And if I wouldn't remove it in advance, of course, it will interact with my paint, and I don't know how the reactions will be. Probably the paint I use won't stick to the canvas and it won't connect, or I will have holes in my painting where the canvas shines through. And so it's absolutely necessary, no matter of the size or the color or what you intend to do, always clean your canvas in advance. So with the canvas I'm done right now. It can dry, the glue can dry, and I put it aside, and we do the mixing. As we are doing a Dutch pour, our paint has to be really fluid. I have my most important colors, the colors I use most, prepared. I show you here the consistency we need, and I think on the white you see it pretty good. When I blow it, it must be possible that I blow it and spread it with my mouth. If it's thicker, if you cannot do it, then it's too thick, you have to add water. So you can see I can blow it with my mouth, and it will spread nicely. And I can also blow it with a straw, and it goes out really thin, and that's the perfect consistency. That's what we want to have in the end. So as my white is already mixed, let me just cover it. I will use this place today only for mixing my paint, and that's why I clean this up, because then I can reuse it. Usually I throw it away, but as I don't do anything too messy today, I can keep and reuse this bag. That's actually a litter bag. Like I told you before, I prefer to use them to cover my surfaces, because they are pretty resistant and they don't rip so easy, and they are pretty cheap, especially when you work on smaller tables like this one. So for the Dutch pour, a lot of people do not use medium. I do, because I think it makes the colors more poppy, and especially when I work with discounter colors, there's always the risk that they rip or that you cannot thin them down as much as you like. And that's why I use some of my medium to thin it, and not only water. And please keep in mind, in your mix, in the end, there shouldn't be more than 30% of water, because this more than 30% would damage the integrity of the paint. So I will start with the copper. I actually have my mixes prepared, because these are the paintings I always use. But as I said, I want to show you what's going on. So I just have to check if you can see the cup. Yeah, because the last time I spoke pretty much into the emptiness. So here we go. For the Dutch pour, but depending on the canvas, you do not need that much paint beside your foundation paint, which is the color black in this specific case. So you see, this is a pretty thick paint. It runs, but it's not really liquid. And I have my pre-mixed mediums, as you know, which are 70% of white glue and 30% of water. But this time I just pour it in, because maybe you can't or you don't like to prepare your medium and just start from where you are. And I want to show this option to you too. Here I have my bottle of water, and as it is a small cup and not that much paint, I use this to give the water to it, so I have more control about what's going on. So I'm just losing a little bit. This one is 3 milliliters. So let's see how far we get. And you know, usually you have to have a thinner consistency to the metallic paints because they are heavier from their pigmentation and from their specific weight. But as I almost only use metallics in those two paintings, it's just that they have to be the same consistency, but they don't have to be that thin that they normally are. So. And for Dutch painting, it's not that bad if you have some bubbles inside. Usually I always tell you to be careful not to have bubbles, but for Dutch pour that's okay. And until we start will be a little bit of time, so the most of those babies will be gone till we start. So let's do the test. Perfect. You see, I can blow it with my mouth. And I can also blow it with the straw, so it's a perfect consistency. So, and I will do the same with the other paints, or I will use my premixes. This was just for you. And for the Dutch pours, I mix my primal colors, the ones for the surface, and I always have them pre-mixed, and these are just dishwasher soap bottles. They are perfect because I can put this nylon under the lid, which drains the paint, so no lumps that might be in the paint will get out. And I can really put the paint where I want it with these lids, and it's just perfect. And the amount is also perfect for this size of canvas. So that's it for part 1, preparing the canvas for my English viewers. And in the second painting I give you a short insight about my preparation of my floor where I'm going to be working, and then we'll do the actual pour. See you later. Bye.